Thank you. Okay, so that's 2,400, so about 800 each.
I'll just go to washroom, okay?
It's 800 each. Hey, don't you have your card?
नहीं है ना, आज भूल गया.
I'll pay by card, but you pay me back, okay? For sure. 700 you owe me. We've all been there. That perfect lunch with friends, and then that awkward moment when someone doesn't have money to foot the bill. And so, the generous soul that you are, you end up paying more than your share. And that starts the vicious circle of you owe me. Well, today on Unicorn, I'm on a mission to make sure that you never land yourself in such embarrassing and awkward situations. After all, as much as we love our friends and family, we all know that one miserly, conniving soul who is trying to get out of doling out their share of the bill. Today, there is an app for everything, and one startup is getting a lot of attention and some heavy funding for cracking this social dilemma. This is Mypoolin, a peer-to-peer and group payment social platform which helps people plan and pool in money together for all social outings while killing the uncomfortable you owe me situation. But in a market saturated with apps, I want to know, how will Mypoolin convince people who don't want to pay? Will Mypoolin be able to scale up from just an app? Is the market for social transactions big enough for Mypoolin to grow?
There was one friend of mine who showed me a video compilations of all the failures in businesses, and he was trying to coax me out of starting a business. But then I showed him a video of all the successes, and he said that yes, I mean, there are always outliers, and I said that yes, we can be the outlier.
Outliers, rule breakers, those that love to color outside the lines. The dynamic pair behind Mypoolin loves to use these loaded terms to describe their personalities. Meet Ankit Singh, an alumnus of Delhi College of Engineering, and Rohit Taneja, his partner who belongs to the prestigious IIT Delhi. Together, the young engineers founded Mypoolin in January 2015.
Getting into a software business after doing MBA was a great benefit. We see that a lot of products are built out, but in terms of marketing them, in terms of assessing customer needs, in terms of distributing them, that's where majority of the products fail.
After IIT, I started a business mainly to make an impact. The primary aim was to do something that nobody else is doing, something that is very different from the herd. At the same time, something that really solves the problem of the Indian customer and hopefully beyond India as well in the future.
Rohit and Ankit may seem like the cliched startup founders with lofty dreams. But believe you me, they have big plans in place. And these plans are incubated in Investopad, a creative, colorful co-working space. After all, Mypoolin's little team of 7 rubs shoulders and competes with many other startups for funds and recognition from big sharks. So will Mypoolin become much more than just an app, helping you split money with friends?
In terms of scaling up, there are two main things. One is, of course, the app is inherently viral. There's a social angle to it. People always, go around with friends. They always want to split the bill with a friend.
Wherever there are social transactions, there is an opportunity to enable these social payments as well.
Second thing is that we are tied up with a bunch of partners. So a bunch of partners are Make My Trip, Jabong, Amazon, Bookwishow, who are basically helping us, provide these services in a very seamless manner. And at the same time, of course, make sure that the customer experience is great. And that in turn helps us spread the viral word of mouth.
And we have seen India shifting from a savings-driven economy, like it was back in the case of my parents and our parents about 2 decades back, to a consumption-driven economy. We don't save anymore, right? So that is where we see there's a huge opportunity and it's only going to grow.
Well, many startups are all talk and no action. I had to meet the founders and grill them about their revenue models as well as the competition that is likely to creep in anytime soon.
Who are your investors? How much funding have you raised and how have you utilized this funding?
We have a group of 10 angel investors and, of course, Qualcomm Partners and Axel Ventures. In total, we have raised close to $500,000. It has mostly been used on hiring and product development and iterations, of course, that we have done along the way.
You have an esteemed list of investors, including Google's Rajan Anandan and Gautam Gandhi. How has their expertise helped you?
Gautam is a good friend as well and as an investor, so he helps on a lot of fronts. He was the one actually who suggested us to go for the Q prize, Qualcomm prize. And of course, coming from Google, he has a mentality of, understanding startups, understanding the way people think. And then Rajan is, of course, the head of Google India. So in terms of connections, in terms of meeting new people, it's pretty much a breeze for us whenever we need to meet someone.
Now, you've created an app to get out of awkward you owe me situations. But there is a social element here. How will you convince those who don't like to pay to pay?
But for those sort of personas where people actually don't even want to pay, we have introduced a feature called poke. So it's quite interesting. So we realized it actually takes about 2 to 3 pokes for a person to finally give up, and they can poke each other. Anyone can poke them, and it just gets publicly shared. So it's that sort of naming and shaming that actually helps them to finally let loose of those pocket strings, right?
What is your revenue model? Do you receive commission from your third-party tie-up?
On Mypoolin, whatever amount that is collected is ultimately spent on one or the other merchants, right? And there are a few merchants which are on our platform, and then there are others who haven't, and there are third-party guys that we have tied up with, the likes of, say, Amazon or Flipkart, with whom we deal. So users collect the money they spend for travel. They would spend, say, on Oyo, right? For Make My Trip. For restaurants, they'll go and spend money over there. So in all these cases, we actually get a commission of those transactions.
And a part of Mypoolin is also peer-to-peer transfers. What is your revenue model for that?
In our model, we see peer-to-peer as a highly engaging feature where user repetitively comes back to the app to carry out peer-to-peer transactions. But in terms of monetizing it, we do not have any plans to monetize it. The social aspect that we have in the app keeps it differentiated from all the other P2P players in the ecosystem.
Now tell me, what stops a Book My Show or a Jabong from creating a similar app given their vast reach? Where will you stand then?
So, we've seen the likes of Book My Show, Jabong, and all the big players in the ecosystem as our complementary partners. So to be honest, Book My Show is a partner of ours. So is Jabong. What we are essentially doing is that we are solving that problem of social coordination, where it's one place where all the apps come up beautifully, and you can actually just plan seamlessly with your friends and get rid of that payment hassle.
Mypoolin is an app that allows users to create pools for social outings. Once friends commit to an event, a target amount is set and costs are split equally among members. It's social, it's seamless.
It makes things a lot easier.
So the app looks really cool. It has a lot of different options like to plan movies or parties or to travel, etc.
I don't have to do anything. I just have to sit, be at work, be working on the side, and just hit my friends up for a plan, and it works out.
So Mypoolin is a interesting idea, but it's been broadly tried before Groupon. So they're trying to do it in a few other services. Groupon itself is not operating now. They've been fairly killed by the Amazons of the world, the Flipkarts of the world. So they'll have to prove this model. In my opinion, they'll have to prove it is working. They're able to get the discount, they're able to get the buyers. It is quite a challenging space, so they'll have to approach it differently, in my opinion.
So Mypoolin teams seems to be very strong. As a model, it's a concept which is prevailing in the industry as in India for decades. Adaptability of this model over a technology is something tricky, and if entrepreneurs are able to crack that space, I think it's a population 1.2 billion they can tap.
My quest is to find the exceptional one, that one in a billion. This is a celebration of the human spirit, the spirit to explore, to survive, to innovate, to compete, to do better, to be better. To be that one in a billion. To be a unicorn.